Hello YouTubers! What we are going to do today is we're going to use some Shrinky Dink material to print and cut some doxies. This one I made into a magnet, and then this one I made into like a pin for your shirt or your bag. These are really kind of fun to do. So this is how big they are, and they shrink down to. We're going to print and cut them on the Cameo, and then use the heat gun to shrink them, and then you have a really adorable magnet. So let me go show you what you need. Alright, so this is the Shrinky Dink film that I've been using. I've got white and clear. I tend to like the white better. It seems to me to make the colors a little bit more vibrant. This feels a little bit more washed out. You can see in the ears. So, but whatever, which one you want. But do you know, the clear doesn't stay clear. It becomes kind of this frosted glass effect almost. And then this is the white one. Also know that the colors get a lot darker. So like this is what they started out with on this one. And then after they get shrunk, see how much darker they are. So my first tester little doxy, see, I ended up changing the brown to make it a little bit lighter because it just got so dark. Also, they need to either be sealed or never get wet. Up to you which one you want to do, but they're gonna they're gonna get wet or something, the colors will run. So also we're gonna print and cut. The cut doesn't all the way go through, so we're gonna end up cutting them out and like popping them out. My machine, I'm using the Cameo too, hasn't been able to cut all the way through this, so that's what we're gonna do. Also, we're printing this on my Canon Pixma. I'll leave a link down to which printer I have. It's telling me it's out of ink, so that's why it's leaving some lines on the printing. But I'm not changing ink cartridges until it's not printing in color at all anymore. They're too expensive. Magnets or pens. Depending on what you want to turn them into. You can also turn them into charms, or for bracelets, you could add like a circle up here and have them be like necklaces. Because they really are fairly hard once you get them done. And then I've been using the big honking heat gun to shrink them. I'm putting them on some parchment paper and then just shrinking them that way. We're gonna hold the poor cheap scissors, and I hold them down, and that's how I flatten them. To me, it just gives you more control to make sure that they get flattened back out. And then I've been using one of the Bath and Body Works candles to flatten them back out. Because when they heat up, they curl, and I just don't know if you put them in the oven, if you get them back flattened out. So, that. And then obviously hot glue gun. Alright, so I've cheated a little bit, and I have my print and cut already set up in Silhouette Design Studio. To get your marks to turn on, you're going to come over here into page setups, and then turn registration marks on, off or on. And then you don't want anything to print in the gray areas. The problem with that is the machine will sometimes try to read it and not your registration marks, which cause a whole host of problems. And then I already have these guys set up. This is my little witch and my little Santa. And basically these are PNG files. All of these are. And then I have a cut file turned on around them. But I set these up in a different program just to make my life a little bit easier. And then this is my original one. If I ungroup him. So these would be my cut. So this is my PNG file. And then these were my cut lines. You can do this with Silhouette Studio in an SVG file by taking the SVG file and then coming over here to your patterns and filling them in. And you could print this and then cut it out. And there's all sorts of glitter files out there. You could fill them in and do it that way. But past this, we're just going to, and then I have this set as an 8.5 by 11 piece, a standard piece of paper. And my orientation is just regular up and down. Sometimes the machine will give you an attitude if you try to print like a 12 by 12 page. And then I have a Canon, that. We're gonna print and see if it prints in color still. It's been telling me it's out of ink for like, I don't even know how long. It's been a while. And it looked, yeah. Oh, the printer's offline. Turn the printer on. That often helps. Also, these are your red things are your print borders. So show print border, show cut border. You're going to want both of these checked so that you can't put anything outside of that area. Alright, so this is my mat I normally use. And then we're just going to stick these guys on here. Preferably straight. This is my everyday mat that I use. So, whatever mat you normally use. Also, these are a little sticky when they first come out. So, I wouldn't recommend, like, rubbing on them. Because, I don't know if it would run. But, also, well, I'm going to tape these in place. Just in case, a little extra insurance, because we're going to cut it quite a number of times. You don't want anything too close to your registration marks, because you don't want them, actually we're going to move this a little over. You don't want the machine trying to read it. You don't want the machine trying to read your tape as a registration mark. Also, I have lines in my doxies. You will not see them once they're shrunk. This is actually fairly forgiving, if I'm honest, just because it doesn't, once it's shrunk, a lot of this will be hidden and you'll never see it. So there we go. And we are going to go get the machine to read our marks and hope the machine wants to read them. And then we're going to get it cut out. Alright, so we're going to go over to the sun panel. And then it's just going to turn on the cut lines that go around my little doxies. Like I said, this is a PNG file. It's a picture file, so it's not going to want to cut these. And then shrink plastic, I made a custom thing for it, custom setting for it, real easy. Force of 33, speed of 1, and blade at 10. And we're also going to do 10 passes, so this is going to be a minute. But this is about the only way I've found to get it to work. And then we're using the good old Cameo too. We're going to hit send. When I hit send, it's going to go and read the registration marks and make some funny noises. And then it'll cut this out. Alright, so they just got done, and you will have like some dust, so you're going to want to wipe, blow, because I'm pretty sure this little white mark on my first little doxy is the dust. It didn't get blown off, it shrunk with it. Alright, so what we're going to do is, I've been cutting them apart. And then you're going to want to flip them on the back. There should be roughly an indentation. You may not be able to see it, but there's an indentation where the machine almost cut through. You cut to it, and then just it'll peel right out. And the reason you want to do it this way is there's extra like plastic on the back that the machine just for whatever reason has not been able to break through. And you want it on it or it doesn't shrink evenly. So this is the best way I've found. Silhouette is supposed to be coming out with Shrinky Dink fabric or material. But when I was looking for Shrinky Dink material for my little, basically we're doing this whole project so I can have dachshund pens. Because I really wanted some. But anywho, when I was looking for Shrinky Dink fabric for my, or Shrinky Dink plastic for my pens I wanted to make, I couldn't find it anywhere. The only place that had it even listed was Silhouette's store. And It's $15 and it is out of stock. So that's why I ended up with this. And the clear stuff last time I looked was $10 for 6 sheets. And then the white stuff was a little bit more expensive and it was like 12 something for 6 sheets. Silhouettes is 15 for 6 sheets. So it's not a bad, it's not bad as long as you just don't mind doing this. That's a little annoying, but it comes right out. It really does. So, and if you tear it a little bit, like I tore the ears on the bunny over there, you will never know. I don't even know where I tore it anymore. Alrighty. So there is our little doxy. And then I've been saving scraps because you could totally print something else on scraps. Or you can actually do what you're supposed to and draw and cut out. So I'm a scrap keeper for this. So we're going to go over, I've been doing these on my heat press because my heat press is kind of meant for hot stuff. And we're going to shrink them. Alright, so full warning, when he gets heated up, it curls all up. Also, I've been doing this with the design side down because when it's melting, it's susceptible to marks. And obviously, since this is the back, you don't mind getting marks on it. So face down. And then this is the candle. Anything that is weighty will work. These just are next to my heat press and always come in handy. So just something that you can flatten it back out with that'll be heavy and heat resistant. And then we're on my heat press, and then I've got my Teflon sheet over my heat press just in case. Better safe than trying to figure out how to get it off a heat press. And then this is a folded up piece of parchment paper as another just in case. So, and then I take my scissors and I hold it down. Now what I'm doing is making sure it doesn't fly away, and it totally might fly away. Just bring it back over here if it does. It's just gently to hold it down. If you stab it, you'll end up with a mark. They also prevent it from shrinking. So, here we go. And there we go. Alright, so we got the hot glue gun on. I recommend 2 of these little guys for the pins, just because if you have one, they just tend to spin when you're wearing them. So I'm a fan of 2. So, not high tech. Glob on. The heat gun was set to high, in case anybody was wondering. Don't think it really matters. Also, if you need to get these off because you changed your mind and you wanted a magnet instead of a lapel pen, not that I did that the other day, you can totally heat press or heat gun these for a minute and take the Cricut prior and they'll pop right off once they get warmed up again. And there you have it. Now you have a doxy for every season, or at least I do. I'll put these up on the webpage if anybody else has a doxy, not like me. But they're actually really cool, and you can make some really personalized decorations for not a lot of cost. You would need to seal these, like I said before, because they will run if they get wet. But, I don't know. I really enjoyed this. This was more fun than I thought it would be, as always. So, if you have any questions, let me know. Please like and subscribe to our channel. And I'll be back with another tutorial soon.